I'm Dr. Wade Pilling from Dental Implant Solutions of Idaho. I'm a board certified implant specialist. I've been doing this 20 plus years. I lecture and teach, train, mentor, very heavy into the implant field and the cosmetic and reconstruction side of it. Spent a lot of my time teaching and mentoring with Implant Pathway, as well as for other entities. I'm a KOL for a handful of different implant and technology companies. I love this profession. I get to be involved in some of the coolest technologies and things out there. I also get to be involved with some of the newer docs that are training and learning, as well as rub shoulders and teach and mentor with some of the most advanced surgeons and dentists out there. So it's a pretty fun field to be in now. I'm all in. I enjoy it. I enjoy being on the forefront of the technology, as well as, more importantly, I still practice full time. Even though I teach part time, I'm still practicing, full time, and love seeing the transformations, this technology brings to our patients. It's very enjoyable.
And when you saw our system, and what helped you make a decision in moving forward with getting one in your office?
My first impression about the system was it was obviously technology that was going to help improve the quality and the precision of our care. I've known about the technology for a while and some of the developments in it, and I've kept a close eye on it, waiting for the workflows to be worked out and the full digital workflows. And this time, had another look at it, and it looked like the technology had come a long ways since its early days, and the ability to navigate through the bone and have three-dimensional feedback views of your plan is critical to care, right? There's certain implants that have to be spot on precise, and we can eyeball those and do our best guesses, use guides, but nothing is going to be as good as having live feedback. And once I saw the technology was there, along with merged new digital workflows, it just was a no-brainer, to buy and be able to implement it into the practice. At the end of the day, it's about giving my patients better care, improving our efficiency and our accuracy on everything.
And how easy it was to implement Navident in your office and in your practice?
It was much easier than I thought to implement this into our office. I've got my workflows down. I'm very efficient. Throwing something new into it's difficult. I don't always like that. I don't like to change things that are working, to find ways to improve them. So implementing this was much, much easier than I thought it would be. I scheduled a lot of time for our first case, thinking it would be there. We were actually not too much over our regular speed, that we didn't go over more than we usually did. So I was impressed. I was surprised. And that starts with just understanding the technology and the workflows. And you guys have kind of figured out a lot of little tricks to get around some of those. So it sounds like it's been tested a lot. But yeah, I definitely found that it was much, much easier to implement than I thought it would be.
We just had completed our first full arch with a Navident system, and it was actually a pretty complicated arch, including pterygoid implants. So how do you think it helps to streamline your full arch workflow?
The Navident system is really going to streamline our workflow for sure. It's going to make restorative easier because the surgery is going to be more accurate. A device like this that can streamline the accuracy of our surgery is going to make our cases more easily, more predictably to do the process on it, to restore. You're not going to run into issues where you're scratching your head about, well, the implant integrated and it's in this weird position. Now I got to think, how am I going to restore it? This is just going to make things smoother from start to finish. The most efficient workflows all start with accurate surgery. So definitely we're going to see some streamlining of this.
And what would be your advice to dentists who are kind of on the edge to trying to decide whether they should get one system or shouldn't really get one?
Well, dentists on the edge wondering whether or not to get into this technology or not. I would say people feel that with every new technology that comes along. And there are technologies out there that you might get into that you regret. Honestly, this isn't going to be one of them. There's no way you would ever regret having more information. It'd be like regretting getting a CT scan. Nobody regrets getting a CT scan. So why would you regret getting instant CT feedback during your surgery, mid-surgery, being able to have it in real time? So there's no way anyone would regret it. So if you're thinking about it, absolutely get it. You just have to have, a good workflow in place to implement it, to make it go smoothly. And we do here, and that's why we're able to implement it pretty well. But it wasn't hard to implement at all. So anyone thinking about it, I'd recommend testing it out, trying it out. There's certainly some other systems out there on the market, and I've looked and kind of trialed some of them and looked at them. I went with Navident because it's the smallest, the more ergonomic, it's the easiest. It has a workflow with some things in it that no one else has. I'm not interested in full robotics. I don't think we're there yet, and nor do I want to be. You gotta be able to do this on your own, and the system gives you the feedback. And so, from a pricing standpoint to efficiency to ergonomics of the thing, it's got to fit in the operatory nicely. It was a no-brainer to go with that. Well, today was pretty groundbreaking, history making. We had Askar here from ClaroNav, where we were trying to implement the Navident technology into our office. And we had a double arch surgery today, a challenging case with pterygoid implants and some remote anchored stuff. And we were able to implement the technology and accurately place the implants where it was planned. The navigation unit just guides us exactly where we want to do and be. It's able to get the most torque out of our implants. And the most amazing thing about it is for the first time, we were able to do full arch implant surgeries without having to take intraoral scans or place fiducial markers. Two of the biggest things that cause us discrepancies in the process, two of the biggest things that cause inaccuracies that lead to lots of bite grinding or misfitting things. We were able to do this without any of that. They have a new workflow that we just did, first ever in the world, to be able to implement it. No scans, everything stitched together, and the prosthetics were made seamlessly. And that's a big game changer in dentistry. There's not a lot of game changers anymore, but this is definitely one of them. To be able to skip those steps and immediately have everything stitched together, from the CT scan to the teeth to the markers. It's just all in one technology without having to pull out my intraoral scanner. It was phenomenal and groundbreaking.